Victim Mentality and Addiction. That's the name of the title. And this article, well, let me introduce myself. I'm rambling, assuming that you guys know who I am. My name is Craig. I am one of the recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center.
And I'm Karen, also a Capital Recovery Coach. Welcome to our coffee and conversation.
Right. And so we're going to, I believe, have a wonderful day. Mike is not here. I'm sitting in his at his desk, and so he's on vacation, and I hope he's enjoying himself. And so, me and Karen are gonna hold down the fort while he's not here. And so, once again, we're gonna discuss some things. But before we do that, let me tell you about what's going on tomorrow. Matter of fact, we're going to have our road band. We're going to be out tomorrow, Wednesday, August 11th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're going to be at the mini park across from City Liquor. We're going to be in Millville, New Jersey. Come on out. There are going to be some recovery coaches out there who's going to provide services for those who need it. Tell someone about the road band, Recovery on Will. We will be at the mini park across from City Liquor in Millville. And so that's one thing that we want to cover first and foremost. And also, we having our overdose awareness candlelight visual. And that is going to be held on August the 31st of this year, 2021. Doors open at 6 p.m. We're going to be at the New Jersey Motorsports Park, 8000 Dividing Creek Road, also in Millville. And so Cumberland County having some big things going on, and we'd like to keep you all informed about that. And if you want to be a part of it, you can register. Just go to the website. I'm going to read the link to you. It is CC Visual 21. All this is lowercase .eventbrite BRITE.com. Once again, it's ccvisual21.eventbrite.com. So please register for that. Also, just want to get a couple of some information, let you know what's going on in the community before we get started. Next Monday, there's going to be an event that's going to be held. It's called the Reentry Employment and Resource Fair. People are going to be out there. Healthcare providers are going to be out there. It's located in Bridgeton Riverfront, 1416 East Commerce Street, right off of Route 49. It's Broad and Commerce, and some of the things that are going to be provided. They're going to be on site. There's going to be employment information, cell phone for individuals who qualify, court identification, warrant recall initiative. Let me explain that a little bit before people get panicky. What that entails is that those who may have a failure to appear for, let's say, child support, and a warrant has been issued, there are going to be some people there representing the court, and they're going to give you a new court date. They're not going to dismiss anything. From what I know, they're going to give you a new court date. And what I do understand, no one is going to be arrested at all. All right? Substance abuse treatment and mental health services is going to be provided. Most likely, we will be in attendance there at the event. If not, you can always call us here. The numbers below, 856-391-7449, 1-800-236-2448. And you can reach us as well. Homeless service and housing, legal assistance, veteran services assistance. And so all that good stuff is going to be there on August 16th from what time? Did I say the time? 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come on out. All right?
And like Mike always says, if you would like any information, please comment number 5 and we will provide that to you whichever way you would like, either by email or picture by text message.
Yes. And so, and also for the overdose awareness candlelight vigil, if you're going to be or you'd like to participate, also you can submit a photo of your loved one. And I'm not sure if they're going to be able to allow all the photos, but please submit a photo as well. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of why we're here, coffee and conversation. All right. Today's topic is called victim mentality and addiction. And this article is provided by no other than Waypoint recoverycenter.com. This article, once again, is provided by waypointrecoverycenter.com. And so we like to acknowledge them as well. And so I'm beginning to read, and it says, building a life free from the burden of substance abuse requires rethinking old thoughts and behavior patterns. That's very interesting because I used to facilitate a group called Thinking for Change. And what that group entailed was to get all of us, those who are in recovery, I am in recovery as well, is to get rid of our old thinking and begin to reinforce positive thinking and a positive way of looking at a situation. All right? It says one common obstacle many people in recovery must overcome is the habit of thinking of themselves as victims of their circumstances. History has proven that the human spirit is amazingly resilient, and that is so profound. Because I am a believer of, I like that word, first and foremost, I like the word resilience, because resilience, I believe I have overcome tremendous obstacles and hurdles in my life. And I don't take all the credit for it. I like to give my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for assisting me, and those who assist me along the way, and that is my family, support group, those in my community, my church family as well. And so I don't want to elaborate on me so much, but I just want to point that out. Tapping into this natural resiliency is a vital part of the recovery process. All right. So that's what we're going to look into. We're going to look into how can we change the way we perceive ourselves, and how we can be more resilient and know that we can overcome some of these hurdles and some of the things and change our mentality. All right. And so I'm going to read a little bit more and I'm going to get into it. And then I believe Karen, she would like to read as well. So it says, playing the victim in your personal relationships. And I am number one. And sometimes I do get into that sometimes, but let's go on. Falling to the victim role is common among substance abusers because it allows them to manipulate the people they're closest to into enabling their substance use disorder. And now, I like to look at it from the perspective of shifting the blame. It's often said that those of us who are in our addiction state we are very manipulative, cunning, and deceiving. And now that's because we are in our mind altering state. But those who has a natural innate ability to care, have compassion, and love others, a lot of times we grow out of that once we get into the stage of recovery, because now we begin to look at the inside of ourselves as opposed to trying to manipulate those around us. All right? It says, when you portray yourself as a victim, the people around you go out of their way to relieve your immediate suffering, even if their actions aren't helpful in the long term. And now let's talk about that. When people go out of their way to be kind and to assist someone who really is not being on the up and up, a lot of times our loved ones, families, and friends, they become what what is known as the enablers. And what an enabler does is that they continue to promote the negative behavior, and they think they're doing good when they are doing actually more harm to that person. And so we don't want to become someone that enabler. We want them to become independent. So here at Capital Recovery Center, as recovery coaches, we are here to empower those who come through these doors eventually, and those who already we encountered. And when we say empowering people, we have a host of things that we work on. And if someone who's struggling with some type of substance use disorder, we like to encourage them to, first of all, seek some type of treatment, whether it be detox, residential, or IOP, intensive outpatient continuum care. And also we have job linkage, we have healthcare linkage, we have transportation linkage. So, hey, listen, come on out, join us. And listen, if you can't reach us by the phone number at the bottom of your screen. Karen has been so nice to be able to put that up, 856-391-7449, 1-800-236-2448. All right, and so if Karen want to read the examples, we can go into that.
Sure.
So.
All right, so the first example is you complain about being overwhelmed by student loan debt, so your mother slips you extra cash that you use to purchase drugs or alcohol. You show up on your sister's doorsteps after being evicted, so she lets you stay at her home rent-free, even though she's worried about you being under the influence around her young children. And the third example is you constantly tell your friend that he's the only one who really understands what you've been going through. So he continues to let you into his life even after you've stolen money or personal belongings to feed your habit.
Mm-hmm. And so by reading those those bullets, and one may say, wow, that person is a very manipulative person, is a very self-centered person. And a lot of times it doesn't naturally be the person. It may be the disease of the substance use disorder being altering their mind state. And so a lot of people don't have the coping skills to identify what are their craving, urges, and triggers. And so they oftentimes use people. And so hurt people hurt other people. And so when people are hurting, they need some healing.
That's nice.
Right? All right. You want to read some more, Karen?
It says blaming others for your misfortune is closely associated with a victim's mindset. For example, you may try to justify your drinking by saying you wouldn't need to drink if your job wasn't so stressful, or if your spouse wasn't so critical of your actions.
Mm-hmm.
Blaming other places stress on your personal relationships, fracturing necessary support systems, and preventing you from fully owning up to the consequences of your actions.
Oh, wow. That's so profound, because I remember times when I was working as a laborer. And I know those who may be working in long hour jobs, standing on your feet, doing a lot of manual labor, it can be stressful. And for those who are in recovery, sometimes we try to justify that behavior. And I just want to share a little bit about when it comes to relationships, because when I used to work labor jobs, I used to say the same thing. I'm so stressed out. I'm so tired. I just want to unwind with a drink or smoke. And come to find out, I was doing more harm than good. But when it comes to relationship, me and my wife, we were doing counseling, and the lady asked me, she says, Craig, what did you do in a situation that caused for you and your wife to have a disagreement? And so I said, well, my wife said this, and then I got up and I went in another room. She said, no, I'm not talking about what your wife did. I asked you, what did you do? And so in my mind at the time, I'm thinking she wanted to know, what was said after the conversation. Why did I go to the other room? So that's what she was leading up to. She says, well, what caused you to go to the other room? And I said, because of what she said. She said, well, could it be because you got upset? Mm-hmm. And so what that did, it led me to put the focus on myself, on my behavior, not the things that's going on around me. And so that's what we try to teach here and instill to let us to begin to think and focus on our behavior, not on the substance, but how we respond to the environment, the circumstances, or the situation appropriately. Not using the outlet of drinking or using some type of drug as an outlet. Find some coping skills how that we can better deal with stressful situations. All right?
I want to share something too.
Sure.
Being on the other side of of substance abuse and being directly impacted by it, you also, like, even though you're not using the substance, you're also falling into a victim mentality. Because you're like blaming your life situation for every mistake you're doing.
Wow.
So you're like excusing your mistakes in a way, just like the other way, like on the other side. And you're saying, well, my life isn't going right, so whatever, I'll just do this, or I'm doing this because this is what's going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes both ways, the victim mentality.
And I agree with you, Karen, because now you're thinking, what am for a person who's being blamed or the blame is being shifted upon, you're thinking like, oh, am I not good enough? Am I not doing, and it's sad because now you are having someone to second guess or think other than themselves as they're not worthy, and that's not fair. Right. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. Let's move on because, listen, we are recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. We're located in Bristol, New Jersey. We're under the Cumberland County Human Services Department, and we're just here to provide some services. And this is our virtual coffee and conversation. We do this weekly, and that is every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And when on this Thursday, we're going to have our all recovery meeting, which is at 1 p.m. And so we intend to be here live once again, live in flesh. Hey, listen, our co-host, Mike, he couldn't be with us because he is enjoying his time off. And so, hey, Mike, if you're watching, hey, man, big up, enjoy yourself, relax, man, do some R&R. And we'll see you when you get back. Don't worry about that. I know you're passionate about what you do. All right, so the other part it says the victim mentality and low self-esteem. Woo-wee. Now we're cooking. Falling into the trap of having a victim mentality can be a sign of low self-esteem. Someone with low self-esteem doesn't feel as though his or her actions have any consequences. Wow. They make statements like, number one, I'll never amount to anything, so why should I continue to try? Wow, man, that's something to think about, because if anyone gets into that state, whereas they don't have the worthiness or the ability to change, I want to instill in you or let you know that you can change, you can make a difference, you can overcome. And we ran across that word resiliency. And so you are a person that even though you may fall, pick yourself back up. The second bullet says, no one will forgive my past mistake, so I should just use to be alone. Wow. And so that they're talking about low self-esteem. And so if anybody that's thinking along those lines of that they'll never amount to anything, no one will forgive you of your past mistake. Let me tell you this. In order for you to receive forgiveness, you first got to start with yourself. You got to start with yourself by admitting, say, hey, I made some mistakes. I am not perfect. However, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to admit that I am a person that makes mistakes. And once people see that you are a changed person and someone who's willing to go the extra mile to show and prove yourself, people will begin to look at you totally different. Don't always think people. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to just, have this cheery idea of forgiveness, because we probably have this and things to people, and some people may have, people gonna be people. Let me put it like that. But always remember, you have to change you first, and then other people will embrace you. They will empower you. They will give you a second chance. Look at me. I come a long way. If you only knew my whole story, you'll identify and agree to some of the things, not all the things I say, but some of the things. All right. The third bullet: bad things happen no matter what I do. Wow. These are some low self-esteem bullets that we're talking about today that people often have.
Lately, all of my mishaps, that's the mentality I was starting to have.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like, why does everything happen to me?
Yeah, because you just came back from a situation.
Yeah,
and
always a situation after the next. But I realized that, what is the saying, that God puts the strongest warriors through. So I'm just trying to stay positive. So I think that's what everyone should do.
That's right. Life's gonna throw you a curveball from time to time. And listen, you got to be at the plate. You got to be ready to swing at that ball when it comes. You know what I mean? You may strike out sometime, but let me tell you, you're gonna hit a home run one day. And when you do hit that home run, it's gonna feel good. You might hit a grand slam. Now, some people are fortunate enough to hit grand slams in their life, but long as for me, if I can get to first base, and if I can get to second base, third, and come home safe, I'm feeling good about myself. And so let's change that idea of low self-esteem that, only bad things can happen no matter what. I'm not going to amount to anything, and people's not going to forgive me of my past mistakes. That ain't true. That is something that we have to change. Thoughts, behaviors come from your thoughts and your ideas. And so as long as you plant good, positive thoughts and ideas, your outcome and your behavior, your approach to life is going to be greater than you ever expected. And so start thinking. So let me start thinking positive. Let me get to the last one before I keep on rambling. I'm going to let Karen do her thing. I tried to get sober, but I relapsed. Being clean just won't work for me. That ain't so. And so what we here at Calvary Recovery Center, we like to deal with the 5 stages of change: pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. And so if someone was to find themselves go to a treatment facility, they get sober and they start recovery, and something come up, and things gonna come up, and you relapse. Hey, listen, you don't have to start, and you say, you know what? I relapsed. I don't know if I can do this again. I hear people say they program out, and so what we try to encourage, and what we do encourage people, is that you don't have to start from the pre-contemplation stage of getting back into the recovery field. Only thing you got to do when you say that, hey Craig, hey Karen, hey Mike, I relapsed. I'm being honest with myself. I'm being honest with you, And so we'll get you started into, I believe I would like to start you from the preparation stage. I won't take you all the way back to the pre-contemplation or contemplation. Get you right back to the preparation, and you just move on to the action and maintenance. And hey, you can do anything, you put your mind up to it.
Mhm.
All right, Karen, you want to read something?
Yeah, it says when a victim mentality is due to low self-esteem, it's important to find ways to focus on your positive attributes.
Mm.
This might include expressing yourself through art, music, or creative writing, volunteering at a nonprofit organization, or exploring your spirituality are also excellent ways to boost self-esteem. When you realize all of the gifts you have to offer the world, it will be easier to move past the habit of seeing yourself as a victim.
Woo! That's some good stuff right there. I must admit, you'll be amazed how gifted you are. If you just tap into your gifts that you already have. It's already in. Some people that I know that are very good artists, play instruments. They might gonna be the best. They might gonna be a Mozart. They might gonna be a Beyonce, or they may not be Julio Iglesias or any one of those great people. However, whatever strength that you have, tap into that. You might be a good cook. You might be a good mechanic. You might be a good exercise coach. Whatever it is, tap into those abilities and those strengths.
And you don't necessarily have to be good at them. I mean, you can still enjoy doing things without being good at them. It's all about, trying new things and getting out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm glad you're here to help me. You're a big help, I'm telling you. And that's some good stuff, this information that Karen and I are providing. We hope that we're able to help someone along their journey. And so we're going to read some more, and I'll read this one, and then Karen, you would like to take the last one?
Sure.
All right. And it says, developing a victim mentality after trauma. Sometimes people who suffer from a victim mentality have developed self-destructive thoughts and behavioral patterns because of past trauma. They have survived child abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault, or other traumatic experiences and are struggling to move forward with their lives. Exposure to past trauma does have a tremendous impact on one's life, but no single individual is defined by one experience. Our lives are shaped by the situations that are beyond our control, as well as the choices we make in our relationships with the people around us. When you allow trauma to define your worth as a person, it becomes too easy to use drugs and alcohol to numb your pain and avoid moving forward with your life. You want to read the last one?
Exposure to that one?
Seeing yourself.
Oh, sorry. Seeing yourself as a survivor, not a victim. Occasionally feeling discouraged and overwhelmed is a normal part of being human, but it's dangerous to form your entire identity around a victim mentality. When you feel as though you have no power over your addiction, personal relationships, career, or finances, you won't be able to move forward with a sober life for yourself. When you seek treatment for drug or alcohol, substance use disorder, you'll learn how to process past trauma in a way that promotes healing, take responsibility for your own decisions and actions, accept others as they are, face past mistakes and the consequences of poor decisions, and avoid giving power to others by allowing them to control your feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. Substance use disorder is a chronic illness, much like diabetes or asthma. It's not attributed to a lack of willpower or a moral failing. Substance use disorder requires treatment, but it's only a small part of your life story. Your destiny is entirely up to you.
Wow, I like that. Your destiny is all up to you. That is so much. And, I really enjoyed this article. And this is, once again, this is an article, and the title is called Victim Mentality and Addiction. And we get this by waypointrecoverycenter.com. And if anyone out there is going through any type of victim mentality, and they're blaming themselves or they're blaming others, just know that, hey, listen, you don't have to go through this alone. You can utilize us, our services. We are recovery coaches here to not only to assist you, but empower you so that you can take control of your life once again. All right. Once again, my name is Craig. I'm one of the recovery coaches here at Capital Recovery Center. Been a blast.
And I am Karen, also a Capital Recovery Coach. Please don't forget about our upcoming events. We would love to have you at our vigil. Please send us a message, comment, or call us at the numbers below so you can get the information for the registration links. Have a happy Tuesday.
All right. See you guys.